to our guests, especially Dr. P.R. Shukla. I can see him here. He is heading the Department of Geography in DAV College. He's here. Some other students and guests from other universities and colleges are also here. So I'm thankful to each and every one. And as I always say, that nothing is possible without the help and support of my management, especially my president, Ms. Vikaji, Zareen Vikaji, and my manager, our manager, Professor Nishi Pandey. So I'm thankful to them for allowing us to organize these programs. I would also like to express our gratitude to Dr. Barkaha Balla Tandon and Dr. Amina Hassan for technical and her technical team, and the Department of Geography for organizing this lovely event and such a good attendance. I'm so impressed to see so many students and so many other faculty members and students from other colleges. I'm very happy to see it. Now, please, I request everyone to keep your pen and paper ready to note down important aspects which sir is going to discuss, and write down your questions, and you can ask after the program. Thank you so much. I don't want to take much of your time because I myself is eagerly waiting to listen what he is going to explain and what he's going to teach. Thank you so much. We can start the program, Amina.
Dr. Hassan, can you please start with your lecture? We are eagerly waiting to listen to you.
Yes, I'm audible to everyone?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you so much for inviting me in such a, good topic on remote sensing applications and land use, land cover change analysis and detection through the software. So I have divided my presentation in two parts. First, I'm going to give you an overview about the remote sensing and how the technology can be employed in the land use, land cover analysis. Then I'm going to give you, in the second part, I'm going to give you the hands-on training about the softwares to prepare a land use, land cover map in a different application areas. So now I'm going to present the screen. Is it fine? My screen is visible?
Yes, of course. Very clear.
Okay. So, let me tell you that how we can introduce the remote sensing, as you all are the graduate students and you know what is the definition. I'm not going into that because these are the basic things. So we know that the remote means the far away. So whenever we can sense something and we can acquire any information through the different sensors, either it is a normal camera or your mobile picture, anything can be a part of the sensing. Okay. जैसे हम आपको बताते हैं कि एक हमने मोबाइल से पिक्चर खींचा तो दैट द पिक्चर दैट we acquire from the mobile is also a part of the analysis. So therefore we have a different platforms from where we are acquiring the Earth's information. Okay, so these are the basic things. So the remote sensing is simply to acquire the information from any distance about the Earth's object. Here here we are talking about the Earth object because through the sensing we are taking the picture of the Earth. Either you will take the picture on a any distance. It could be a 1 meter, 100 meter, 1,000 meter, or the 1 millions, or the having any distance. You are just taking the picture of the Earth. So nowadays remote sensing is mainly done through the space. Okay, and this is just a definition. I have put both the definition. I will share the PPT and you can get the information about the definition of the remote sensing. As per the Jensen 2000, he is one of the renowned scientists in the field of the remote sensing. He has described remote sensing is just an art of obtaining the information about the object without being in the direct contact with it. Okay. Similarly, our National Remote Sensing Agency has also given the definition, which is here. I'm not going to read it. Very fast, I will give you the overview because you are the undergraduate student. So I have to, this is my duty to recall all the aspects of the remote sensing within a 5 or 10 minutes. So this is just a process or the steps in the remote sensing. we need some illumination, source of illumination. Either it could be a natural or the artificial. So you all know there are two kind of the sensing, passive sensing or the active sensing. Through these both ways we are getting the Earth's information. So the first we need a energy source of or the illumination which comes from the sun. Then gradually it will it will reach to the Earth through the atmosphere. So whenever the energy interacts with the atmosphere, the same process will happen in the atmosphere itself. There would be a scattering, there would be a absorption in the dust particles and the vapors or the gases which are present in the atmosphere. Then it finally reaches to the Earth. So as we know that the whole heat budget out of 100%, how much energy is reaching to the Earth, and then it will again interact with the objects which are present on the Earth. Like we have a built up area, we have an industrial area, we have a forest, we have water bodies. So these all these objects will reflect differently as per their characteristics. So the few targets will absorb more energy and reflect less energy, and accordingly these informations about the objects will be recorded in the sensor. Okay, then sensor will transmit the information in the processing station from where we can get the data, we can access the data and can do the interpretation and use those satellite images in our different application or research areas. So this is just a process. So these are the different platforms. We have ground-based, airplane or the airborne-based also, satellite-based platforms also. So there is a direct relation between the platform and the spatial resolution which we can get in the remotes through the remote sensing data. So if you have any platform which is based at the ground, so you will get a very good high spatial resolution data. Then accordingly your resolution may be degraded when you reach to the space. But however, nowadays there are very good quality of the sensors which are acquiring the Earth's information at a 0.5 meter resolution from the space itself. So there is a no boundation. You are not restricted to the platforms. Okay, from any platform you can get a good resolution, moderate or poor resolution data. That is totally depend on the characteristics of the sensor which satellite carries or aeroplane carries or the ground-based platform vehicles generally carries. Now let us come to the application of the remote sensing. So this is the scene. This is the orbit. Hope you can see my cursor, Amina. When I'm moving the cursor, is it visible to you?
It's perfectly visible.
Okay, so this is just an orbit in the space. From this orbit, every satellite is moving on its orbit, which is fixed. Okay, before plantation of a satellite in the space, it's in the space. Okay, so one satellite will always move on its orbit. So similarly, we have a different satellites at a different distance. Some are implanted at a 21,000 meter in the atmosphere, and some are at the 35,000, few are more than that. So from every distance, satellites are taking picture as per their characteristics, which we have fixed in the system itself. So these are the different application areas. The first we are going to discuss how how we can employ the remote sensing data sets in agriculture. Okay, either you are talking about the airborne images or the satellite images. All these images are basically giving you the exact information which you want. So whatever you want to do, that is totally depend on the user's objective. Okay, so the remote sensing plays very crucial role in the crop condition assessment, crop type classification. Even you can also estimate the crop yield from the remote sensing data sets. Okay, you can also come to know about the different characteristics of the soil. Okay, there are two ways. That I will clear you later, not at this point of time. Okay. Similarly, we can use the same remote sensing data sets for mapping the soil management practices, and accordingly, you can implement such techniques that can really, valuable for the soil management. Similarly, we can employ the same data sets in the forestry applications, where we can work on the sustainable development of forests, biodiversity monitoring, deforestation, monitoring, shoreline watershed production. Okay, and you can also use the data sets for for assessing the wildlife habitat of specific species of animals or any kind of the birds, whatever you want. Okay, so there the remote sensing play a very important role. Now, similarly, in geology, we can use the remote sensing, and those people, I'm not from the geology background, but the people, I know a few of my colleagues, they are really doing a very nice job using the remote sensing data in their research endeavors. So in the geology, you can also come to know about the depositions and the bedrock mapping. You can also perform the lithological mapping through the different bands of the satellite data. And you can also go with the, mineral exploration mapping. However, we have a different kind of, data sets that can be useful in such aspects. So I will clear you at the time of a type of, composition that I will explain. There I will explain you the use of multispectral, panchromatic, or the hyperspectral data sets. Now, in hydrology, it is very good, and personally, because my field is hydrology or watershed, and I'm mostly, my research articles are published on related to the hydrology and watershed analysis. So, in the Earth's surface and its processing, the remote sensing is very good. You can, whatever the listed, application areas are there in the PPT, you can easily, tackle by the help of a remote sensing. So either you are working on wetland mapping, soil moisture assessment, snow cover monitoring, or ice monitoring, flood information, inundation, okay, glacial dynamics, whatever the glacial, if any glacier is melting, so you can also monitor through the remote sensing data sets, temporal data sets. Now in the land use application, it involves so many aspects, because nowadays you all are aware, about the concept of smart cities. So if you want to make the city smart, then definitely you require a remote sensing data sets, either the very high resolution aerial photograph, or a remote sensing data sets through the Iconos, QuickBird, Google Earth images. These all are the very high resolution. You can, by this picture, you can understand if you can see a one ground or a one parcel, even a one tree. So how much it could be, support your planning about the cities. So the land use application generally includes the natural resource management in the cities, wildlife habitat protection, baseline mapping of any GIS input. If I'm doing a mapping of a, uh, what I can say, electric poles, number of recreational parks in the area, number of ATMs, okay, a number of restaurants in the area. So these all things, underground, even the underground surface pipeline, water line, gas pipeline. So these all kind of the mapping, baseline mapping is very essential. That can be a one of the input in master planning for the city development, that can be only possible through the GIS. Okay, using the remote sensing data sets with the integration of the GIS, you can do the baseline mappings, and then you can also assess the urban expansion, in which direction city is going to expand. You can also predict the future expansion of the urban areas in the cities. Okay, and there are so many, this is just a one image that I have got it from the net, and I have simply pasted. There are so many application areas where the remote sensing deal very nicely. Okay, you can also go with the carbon management. You can also work with the public health. Nowadays, I'm also doing a, COVID-19 COVID-19 morbidities and mortalities association with the air pollution. That is a part of the public health. You can also work on the air quality. At the end of the session, I will show you the few articles that has been published in a very reputed international journal with my colleagues. Okay, and these are the, in the disaster, there is a very crucial role of the remote sensing. So these all are the application areas which are very limited. I'm not showing, I'm not telling that only on these research areas you can use the remote sensing. There are n number of, n items where you can research, where you can employ the technique. So let us come to the land use land cover analysis. See, okay. Now, as we know, the definition of the land cover or land use, मैं बहुत एक नॉर्मल आसान सी भाषा में आपको समझा दूं. जो भी चीज आप आंखों से देख रहे हो जो कि प्रकृति की तरफ से है, नेचुरल है, that is a part of a land cover. Any feature that can be visible, you know, that is visible on the earth. So either it is a, you know, forest area or the water bodies or the snow cover area, open lands, so these all are the land cover. So whenever you know, we human utilize these lands for our own purposes or for the economic you know, development or the function, so that for that purpose we are going to use a piece or a part of a land from the land cover, that is refers to the land use. Okay, so either we are using the same land. See, if there is a forest, आप हम लोग कहाँ से शुरू कर रहे हैं? पहले जंगलात थे, पूरी जमीन खाली थी. जैसे जैसे इंसान आया, उसने अपने घर बनाने शुरू करे, खेती करना शुरू करी, ठीक है, फिर उसको प्रॉपर्टीज को कमर्शलाइज करना शुरू किया, फिर वहां पर पार्क बनाए अपने लिए. तो ये हम सब क्या कर रहे हैं? ये हम अपनी नॉर्मल बेसिक यू नो रिक्वायरमेंट्स को फुलफिल करने के लिए लैंड कवर से वी आर यूजिंग सम पोर्शन ऑफ द लैंड. सो दैट इज द definition of the land use. So I'm not going to read the text which is there. I have explained you in a very simple way, and I think most of you are satisfied about the definition of the land use, land cover. Rest you can cross check through the net. So this is all about the land use, land cover analysis, application part, and the basics of the remote sensing. Because I'm restricted to complete the whole lecture within an hour, so I will try to give you know, more time on a practical demonstration, so there would be a more queries that I'm expecting from the audience. So this is how the land use, land cover definition. Now I'm going to take you directly to the another presentation. Guys, I'm audible? Is there any problem?
No, sir.
Okay, thank
No,
you.
sir.
So see, this is let me take you to the remote sensing data directly, because there are so many things that we have to perform here. So this is the data, remote sensing data in a different band. So this is the multispectral data sets of the year 2009 or 2014. So this is Landsat data, and hope you students are, you know, well aware about the Landsat satellite data. Is it? मैं बस जानना चाहता हूँ आप लोगों ने सुना है इसके बारे में या नहीं? Students, have you heard about the Landsat data?
No, sir.
Amina? Okay, no. Okay, so see, every country has a different space agencies. आप लोगों ने नासा के बारे में तो सुना होगा, वो बताने की जरूरत नहीं है ना? Similarly, like NASA, in Europe, they have a European Space Agency, Australian Space Agency. Every country has a different space agency and they have a different missions. Similarly, in India, we have a National Remote Sensing Agency that deals with the satellite data. Okay, we have a headquarters in the Hyderabad, so they are taking the, you know, acquiring the information, and the soft and the hard copy are receiving in the Hyderabad station itself. And from there, through the different sites like Bhuvan is one of the sites that is handling by the National Remote Sensing Agency. And through that site, they are distributing the data sets to the users. So we are the users. Either I can use the product of NASA or the Europe or the Indian remote sensing. ठीक है ना, वो मेरे ऊपर है, मैं जो प्रोडक्ट मुझे सूट करता है, मेरी रिक्वायरमेंट को फुलफिल करता है, then accordingly I will choose the data sets. Now, there are so many private organizations also which are acquiring the Earth's information with a very high resolution data sets. Okay, so that needs to be purchased. अगर आपके पास पैसा है, बजट बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छी क्वालिटी का डेटा आप लेना चाहते हैं, आप उससे परचेज करें, but it is very expensive. So this Landsat data is freely available. Till now, I'm only downloading the Landsat data and some list 3, list 4 data of the Indian remote sensing as per my requirement. So whenever I need to do some application part, so I'm simply using the NASA data. Okay, so this is the data of that I have my students. Basically, this work is done by my undergraduate students of Adama Science and Technology, Ethiopia in Africa. they have taken their this is our university or urban settlement area, and this is the area which is cutted as per the administrative boundaries. Similarly, you in Lucknow you have a Lucknow district boundary. Okay, Delhi has certain administrative boundary. Okay, so through that boundary we have cut that area satellite data. In practical, I will tell you how it looks like. Okay, so this is multispectral composition. This is multispectral data. Let me tell you the three data sets, the importance of the three data sets. Whenever we are using a one single band information, बेसिक्स आपको पता है कि रिमोट सेंसिंग में जब इंफॉर्मेशन एक्वायर होती है वो हर एक बैंड में क्या कहते हैं विजिबल पोर्शन का, इंफ्रारेड पोर्शन का, माइक्रोवेव पोर्शन की रिफ्लेक्टेंस हर एक बैंड में अलग अलग जाती है. ठीक है, तो विजिबल में आपका ब्लू, ग्रीन, रेड, फिर इंफ्रारेड में नियर इंफ्रारेड 1, नियर इंफ्रारेड 2. Okay, so these all particular spectrum portions are basically getting the high reflectance of the object. Suppose plants का जो high reflectance है वो near infrared में जाता है. So near infrared looks like it looks like a kind of a red color which is visible here. तो जब कभी भी आप लाल कलर देखें, पिक्सल्स देखें प्लांट्स को लेके, एग्रीकल्चर क्रॉप लैंड को लेके या जंगलात को लेके, फॉरेस्ट को लेके, then it means this is the false color composition of multispectral data. So we have a two kind of a composition, false color composition, true color composition. So whenever you can see the colors which you cannot see by your eyes, suppose water is not visible like blue color, this is water body. Plants are not, having a red color information, they have a leaves of green color. Okay, so whenever you see such information, so aankh moon ke bol dijiye, this is a false color composition. And in remote sensing, whenever we are performing land use land cover, we are only working on the false color composition, not on the true color composition. जैसे कि आपको आंखों से पत्तियां कैसे दिखती हैं, हरी दिखती हैं, that is true color composition. अगर इसका composition true होता, so whatever the vegetation which is visible here by the red color, it will be it would be a green color appearance. Okay, so these are the compositions. So we have a multispectral data. This is multispectral. Whenever we are going to add more than one spectral band, that means it is a multispectral. Whenever we are working on an individual band, that always gives you the black and white information, which is called panchromatic band information. Panchromatic is always black and white. Multispectral is always in color. Either by the changing the composition of band, you can make it false color or the true color. In practical session, I will show you how we can change it. Okay, so for that you should know, you should have a knowledge about the theoretical knowledge about the subject. And within this very little time frame, I cannot explain you each and every thing. So let me clear you. This is the satellites data, and through the image enhancement process, we can clear the data. That is also a different aspect. Then we should know what should be the classification level. आप किस लेवल पे क्लासिफाई करना चाहते हैं डेटा को? आप वाटर बॉडीज को देखना चाहते हैं, एग्रीकल्चर लैंड को देखना चाहते हैं, बिल्ट अप एरिया को देखना चाहते हैं, फॉरेस्ट लैंड को, रेंज लैंड को, वेट लैंड को. दैट इज योर ऑब्जेक्टिव. ओके, so every scientist or every agency has given some level of the classification that you can perform by the help of any data. Okay, तो पहला लेवल ऑफ क्लासिफिकेशन आसान होता है, आपको कुछ ही चीजें देखनी है. मगर आपको डिटेल में जाना है तो क्या चाहिए होगा? आपको क्वालिटी ऑफ डेटा अच्छा चाहिए होगा. जो चीज आप आंख से नहीं देख पाओगे तो उसको आप समझोगे कैसे? यू कैन नॉट डिजिटली इंटरप्रेट इट. दैट इज सो डिफिकल्ट because most of the pixels, most of the features which have a similar resemblance will give you similar reflectance in the data set. So accordingly, you have to choose the signatures of the different objects. Now this is the one prepared map of land use land cover by this satellite data that I have shown you. This is urban area. Okay, this is water body, this is agriculture land, and these are the normal forested area. Either it is the dense forest or the range land. Range land means which consists of grass or bushes in the area, and whatever the brown area is, that is the bare land. It means there is no coverage except the soil, so the soil reflectance is going to the recorded by the sensor. So the majority belongs to the bare land. Okay, So gradually this urban area is going to expand. This is the situation in the year 1989, and after 10 years, what happened? See the urban expansion, just concentrate on the red color. It is expanded like this. Then again after 10 years, it is expanded, urban area. Then after 2009 and 2014, this is expanded this much. So how this land use land cover can be performed, and then accordingly you can see, perform the statistical analysis. You can also check the spatial distribution of each class like this. In urban area contains the percentage of the area was 0.84% in the year 1984, that gradually increased till 2014. Now the percentage is almost 5% area belongs to the urban area, and this is the situation. Oh, sorry. This is the situation in 1989. It was only concentrated here, and then gradually it has been expanded till very far, even to the out of the city center. Okay, so the neighboring places or the villages were are also merged with the city center. So how the city can be expanded, we can easily extract. Similarly, what are the changes going on in the forest areas and the water bodies and the rangeland, bare land, and the agriculture land and the wetland? Okay, so this all changes can be done by the help of remote sensing, and you can perform the statistical analysis. What are the change rate? So that percentage growth rate or the change rate can be easily calculated through the data sets that you can extract from the remote sensing data on the basis of the area which belongs to the classes. And the similar accuracy level you can check. There is a rule, whenever you perform the land use and cover mapping, the accuracy should be 85 or more than that if the area is a plain. If it has a very terrain features, mountainous region, then accordingly the accuracy can be degraded. Why? Because there would be a more possibility to get the what we can call shadow information in the mountainous region. So accordingly it will be degraded. So for the plain regions, accuracy level should be 85 or more than that. Okay, that is acceptable. And then similar thing, you can also cross check with the GPS. Whatever the feature you are transforming through the satellite data can be also checked through the GPS. You can go to the particular land use land cover if it belongs to the road network or the built up area or the forest area, or the bare land. You can simply go and check their accuracy level through the through the hand-handled GPS. So this is all about land use land cover mapping that can be performed. If you have any query, then fine, I will clear it now. Otherwise, I'm going to demonstrate you the practical session. Is it fine? Or if you have any doubt, Amina, if or the audience will ask, raise their queries after the
We'll
lecture.
raise the queries after the session is over. You
Okay,
can continue with your presentation.
Okay, now, okay. So I will take you directly to the software. Now, this is very difficult. Okay, fine, here. Now, this is ADAS imaging software. I have already installed it. You can also prep whenever you write in the, in the information bar ADAS. So this is in my laptop. I have installed ADAS imaging 2014 version. Nowadays, 2015-16 versions are also there. This is little bit old. However, the functions are more or less similar. There are only few tools which have been changed by the Leica Geosystem, the company which is handling the software. So more or less the functions are similar. So let me tell you, these are the two different views. If I want to if I want to add another view, I can go to the add view, create new 2D view. So another window will be open. Okay. For the demonstration, I have opened only two views till now. Okay. So this is the data. Let me show you. See, this is the multispectral data sets. how we can find out. Let me tell you. Let me show you what could be the data, how it looks like. From once you register in any, on any portal, either it is USGS or Bhuvan of National Remote Sensing Agency, Hyderabad, or any European Space Agency, that there you have to register yourself. Similarly, like you can register yourself for the Gmail account and any Facebook account. There also you have to open an account, and then you can select the region and can download the data. Okay, for downloading the data, you can easily search in the YouTube how to download the remote sensing Landsat data. और YouTube में आपको बहुत सारी वीडियोस मिल जाएंगी, बहुत आसान तरीके से आप उसको फॉलो करो और डेटा को डाउनलोड करो. डेटा डाउनलोड करोगे अपने एरिया के हिसाब से, इस फॉर्म में आएगा, WinRAR फॉर्म में आएगा. आप उसको वहां से एक्सट्रैक्ट कर लोगे फाइल्स को, वो सारी फाइल्स यहाँ पर ऐसे आ जाएंगी. Landsat generally contains Landsat 7 program. The number of bands were 7 or 8. Now recently Landsat 8 program has been launched in the year 2015, 2013, I think so. Since that time you can get the 12, 11 or 12 multispectral bands. Okay, so this PIF image, you can see this file, there are so many supporting files. Okay, there is some disturbance from your side, Amina. I think so. Someone has. इसमें प्लीज आप अपना माइक म्यूट कर दें, जिसका भी ऑन है. प्लीज म्यूट yourself. Okay, so this is the one tip band. Okay, see, it contains too much space. Then accordingly, by that you can get some idea. It has more information because of its usage. Okay, so this is band 1. You can see B1, B2, B3, B4. These all are the band, B5, B6. So you have to extract that bands, okay, in the softwares that can make it multispectral. Otherwise, only black and white information will come. So I have already, through the raster, you can get the spectral layer stack data. See, if I want to add any data, I can go there individually. I have a TIFF format, so I can search for the TIFF. See, all bands are there, band 1, band 2. So individually, one by one, I will select and add here in the list. Because if I'm using only one individual band, it will only gives me the black and white information and I cannot perform anything. So make it a multispectral false color composition. I have to add those bands which are required. So for making the multispectral, near infrared band and the visible portion is very important. So accordingly, you have to give output after adding all the bands. So better to add all the bands. So your image will look like this. Okay, and whatever the bands are there, you can go with the you can go with the multispectral. See, all layers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bands are already added. That makes my data multispectral false color composition. Whenever you want to make it false color composition, always add near infrared, red, and the green band. So that is why I have added band number 432. So whenever I will reverse it, it will come as a true color composition that I will show you later, not now. Okay, so let's see, this is the whole scene. If I'm going to use the whole scene, it will take too much time to process. What I have done, can you see this area, this box? This box I have created, and what I have given a command to the system, please cut this part. So when it happens, I have simply subset that area and it looks like this. Okay, so I'm going to close this window because ये सिर्फ आपको शो करने के लिए बताई थी. आप देखें तो मेरा जो मकसद है वो इस डेटा को बताना है. अब आपको नजर आ रहा होगा एक चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है जो आपको बतानी है. हाँ, लैंड यूज लैंड कवर मैपिंग डिफरेंट लेवल पे होती है, आप देख रहे हैं, जिसके लिए कुछ एलिमेंट्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं. There are some elements of image interpretation. That is shape. क्यों, एक अगर आप मान के चलो कि कोई फुटबॉल ग्राउंड है या कोई ग्राउंड है तो उसका एक डिफाइंड शेप होगा. ओके, So there are some visual interpretation which is very important before performing the data. आपका वो बहुत स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए. तो शेप के जरिए से, साइज के जरिए से, टोन, शेडो, टेक्सचर कैसा है, उसके आसपास का एसोसिएशन कैसा है, उन सबको जानते हुए ही आप विजुअली उसको इंटरप्रेट करें. पहले आपको अपने माइंड में एक पिक्चर क्रिएट करनी पड़ेगी. Then you have to select the pixels on the basis of the color and transform the values and form. Okay. Similarly, we have a different typical features. Airport, airland, beach ऐसा दिखेगा आपको, bridge ऐसे दिखेंगे. अगर आपका resolution बहुत अच्छा है तो. What is a spatial resolution? What is a spatial resolution? Because that is very important. So for your knowledge, let me tell you what is resolution, because this word I'm using again and again. What is resolution? Resolution means, suppose if I'm going to zoom this area, can you see the pixels? Can you see the boxes? Okay. So this is your spatial resolution. So this Landsat has a spatial resolution 30 by 30 meter. It means one box is representing 900 meter square area of the earth. So it means this resolution is moderate, not a big. You cannot extract each and every information in this data. You can only extract the basic information through the Landsat data. If you want to extract each and every household, then you require a very good quality of the aerial photographs or the high resolution pictures through the remote sensing data sets that can see even a single tree, even a one object. So you can digitize. So in that case, you will go with the manual digitization of the parcels. But here, you can only perform the digital transformation of the data. That is important. Now, let us take an overview. This is a false color composition. अब आप चाहते हैं आपको जैसे पेड़ हरे दिखते हैं वैसे दिखें, आप मल्टी स्पेक्ट्रल में जा सकते हैं. आप इसके कंपोजिशन को बदल दें, 3, 2, 1 कर दें, इंफ्रारेड को शामिल ही ना करें, तो आपको ये वैसे दिखेगा जैसे धरती दिखती है. आपको नजर आ रहा है? देखिए, अगर मैं इसको जूम कर दूं, ये एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड्स हैं, ये हरी दिख रही हैं इसकी पत्तियां. ये मट्टी बिल्कुल ब्राउन जैसी दिखती है वैसी दिख रही है. ठीक है. और जैसे पानी की कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होंगी, अगर बहुत क्लीन वाटर होगा तो वैसे दिखेगा. मगर ये जो पानी है, पर्सनली आई हैव विजिटेड दिस एरिया, इट इज अ फुल ऑफ मडी वाटर है. तो ये इसलिए आपको पानी बिल्कुल क्लियर वाटर ऐसा नहीं दिख रहा है जैसे ये वाला काला पानी है. ठीक है. इट हैज अ टर्बिड वाटर. दिस इज बिल्ट अप एरिया, अर्बन एरिया. ठीक है. और अर्बन एरिया में से ये रोड जा रही है, दिखेगी आपको, क्योंकि डाटा की क्वालिटी बहुत अच्छी नहीं है, रिजोल्यूशन पुअर है, तो रोड की लाइन तो आपको दिख जाएगी, बट यू कैन नॉट एक्सट्रैक्ट इट वेरी नाइसली बिकॉज द रिजोल्यूशन इज पुअर. ओके. सो दिस इज हाउ आई हैव मेड द ट्रू कलर कंपोजिशन. दिस इज ट्रू कलर. क्यों? क्योंकि आपको आंखों से भी पत्तियां हरी दिखती हैं, यहाँ पे भी दिख रही हैं. नाउ I cannot extract very nice differentiate between the same feature information in the true color. So for that sake, remote sensing scientists generally works on a false color composition. That is 432. Okay. Now if I want to make it more clearer, अब मैं क्या करूँगा? मैं बोलूँगा इसकी enhancement कर दो. Enhancement में अलग अलग टेक्निक है. मैं हिस्टोग्राम इक्वलाइजेशन को ज़्यादा यूज करता हूँ, क्योंकि इसके यूज करने से आप देख रहे हैं फर्क नजर आ रहा है. मैंने अभी उस टूल पे क्लिक किया, पिक्चर की क्वालिटी भी चेंज हो रही है. ठीक है. तो हिस्टोग्राम इक्वलाइज ईच एंड एवरी इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ पिक्सेल्स विच हैज अ सिमिलर रिजेम्बलेंस. तो ये क्या करता है, जो सिमिलर रिजेम्बलेंस है उनको डिफरेंशिएट करने में हेल्प करता है. तो जो मेरा विजुअल इंटरप्रिटेशन होगा वो बहुत और स्ट्रांग हो जाएगा. So I am using visual interpretation for the visual interpretation histogram equalization. Now my data is more clear. I will save it. I will save the document. पिक्चर की क्लियरिटी और अच्छी हो गई. जो एक रेड कलर था वो भी अलग अलग टोन दिख रहे हैं. जो सॉइल का रिफ्लेक्टेंस था उसमें भी मुझे ब्राइट व्हाइट पिक्सेल्स अलग दिख रहे हैं, सियान पिक्सेल्स अलग दिख रहे हैं. So this is how I can increase the enhancement of or the quality of the picture. Now I am going to start the land use land cover mapping. So this is my request to each and every student. Kindly note down the steps which I am performing here so that it would be benefited for the future exercises. I am going to the raster. There are two options of the classification, unsupervised and the supervised. Let me clarify you the difference between these two. If you have a prior knowledge, suppose I know which pixel belongs to agriculture, which belongs to built up, which belongs to water body, so I will go with the supervised classification. Okay. But if you are not aware about the pixels information, then you should go with the unsupervised classification. It means computer will give you the different number of classes as per your requirement. Then you can cross check the same pixels color with the actual picture which is open here. ठीक है, आप उससे क्रॉस चेक करें और फिर धीरे धीरे उसको नाम देते रहें कि मैंने चेक किया, ये जो पिक्सल दिया है कंप्यूटर ने मुझे, ये वाटर बॉडी बन के आ गया, तो वहां पर आप अपने नाम से वहां पर नाम टाइप करते हैं वाटर बॉडी. सो दिस इज द वे ऑफ अनसुपरवाइज. अनसुपरवाइज विल गिव यू द नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस. आपने बोला मुझे 10 क्लास बना के दे दो कंप्यूटर से, उसने 10 क्लास बना दी. ठीक है, अब ये आपको ढूंढना है रियल पिक्चर से मैच करके कि कौन से फीचर को उसने क्या बनाया है, फिर उसको आप क्लास नेम दे दो. सुपरवाइज क्या करता है? सुपरवाइज में यूजर्स विल डिफाइन that this pixel belongs to agriculture, this pixel belongs to built up area, this pixel belongs to a water body. Then computer will read the same digital number because इसमें सबके अंदर हर जो चीज आपको दिख रही है वो डिजिटल नंबर पे बेस है, between 0 to 255. ठीक है, ये हमें नॉलेज होनी चाहिए कि किस बैंड में, नियर इंफ्रारेड में इसका रिफ्लेक्टेंस ज्यादा होता है या फिर विजिबल में ज्यादा होता है, किसमें. ओके, तो उसके लिए आपको देखो बच्चों थियोरी पढ़नी पड़ेगी. ठीक है, नाउ अब सुपरवाइज क्या करता है? अगर मैंने उसको बोला इस पूरे पिक्चर में से नंबर ऑफ पिक्सल्स तो मिलियंस हैं इसमें. ठीक है, क्योंकि मैंने अगर इसको जूम किया देखो तो एक पिक्सल मुझे अब दिख रहा है, एक बॉक्स, तो ऐसे तो इसमें लाखों करोड़ों पिक्सल हैं. ठीक है, तो अब मैं सारे पिक्सल्स को तो कमांड नहीं दूंगा, तो कहाँ मेरे के लिए कंप्यूटर हेल्पफुल है? मैं इसको बोलूंगा कुछ पिक्सल्स को मैं सिग्नेचर लेके बोलूंगा कंप्यूटर से कि तुमको जहां जहां पे भी ये डिजिटल नंबर मिले जो मैंने चूज किया एज अ वाटर बॉडी, प्लीज उसको ट्रांसफॉर्म कर दो पूरी इमेज में से एज अ वाटर बॉडी. सो दिस विल सेव माय टाइम. So remote sensing data is very useful for doing a mapping of large area. Suppose a country, continent, state, district. Okay, अगर सेम डेटा में मैं आपको बोलूं कि मुझे हर एक घर की मैपिंग करके दो और पूरा डिस्ट्रिक्ट दिल्ली है आपका, तो दिल्ली में तो करोड़ों खरबों मकान है, कहाँ से करोगे? नहीं कर पाओगे. तो रिमोट सेंसिंग लार्ज एरिया मैपिंग के लिए बहुत सपोर्टिव है और इसलिए लोग इसका यूज करते हैं. नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू टेक यू इन द सुपरवाइज क्लासिफिकेशन. ओके, without wasting your time because we have only few minutes. Now this is supervised. I am going to open the signature editor. Signature जो कि मैं कंप्यूटर में कमांड दूंगा कि आप इस सिग्नेचर की हेल्प से मुझे ये क्लास बना के दो. तो मैंने उसको बोला, इसको मैंने मिनिमाइज किया और पहले मैं शुरुआत करता हूँ वाटर बॉडी से. वाटर मुझे साफ दिख रहा है, दिस इज लेक. There is no other water body, so for me it is very much easy to differentiate water. So I will go to the drawing tool, take polygon or rectangle tool, whatever you want. I am taking rectangular because all the water body, because this is only one water body, all pixels are reflecting the same color or the tone. Okay, so I will take few polygons. अब जितना बड़ा मैं ले रहा हूँ आपको बड़ा नहीं लेना बच्चों, ये पिक्सल साइज बड़ा नहीं लेना, ये रेक्टेंगल बड़ा नहीं लेना. क्यों नहीं लेना है मैं आपको जूम करके बताता हूँ. देखो कितने सारे पिक्सल आ रहे हैं. मैं इसलिए वाटर बॉडी में श्योर हूँ क्योंकि एक ही जैसे टोन है पूरे का, तो इसलिए मैं बड़ा साइज ले रहा हूँ. और अगर आपको बिल्टअप एरिया के लिए लेना है, एग्रीकल्चर के लिए, तो आपको ये रेक्टेंगल साइज क्या करना पड़ेगा? छोटा करना पड़ेगा. क्यों? क्योंकि यही चीज आपकी डिटरमाइन करेगी कि आपकी एक्यूरेसी कितनी आई है. क्योंकि वाटर बॉडी having a similar information, there is no difference in the color, so I am going to take few sample, only few, very limited. आपको ऐसे सिग्नेचर एक क्लास को बनाने के लिए कम से कम 10 या उससे ज्यादा लेने चाहिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ. ठीक है, 2 या 3 लोगे ना तो ये आपको 100% एक्यूरेसी दिखाएगा. और कोई भी नहीं मानता अगर कोई बोले मेरी एक्यूरेसी 99% आई है, 95% आई है, जो भी रिमोट सेंसिंग एक्सपर्ट होगा वो ट्रस्ट नहीं करेगा. ठीक है, अब मैंने ये तीनों पॉलीगन शिफ्ट बटन से सेलेक्ट कर लिए और इनको यहाँ से मैं ऐड कर दूंगा, या आप एडिट में जाके भी ऐड कर सकते हैं. इन बोथ द वेज यू कैन डू. ओके, सो फॉर यू आई एम एडिंग फ्रॉम हियर. 3 classes are added. So for the practical sake, only these 3 set of signatures are more than sufficient for the water body. I am going to select through the mouse. ये मैं तीनों क्लास सेलेक्ट करूंगा. कहीं और क्लिक करे बगैर मैं राइट क्लिक करके बोलूंगा इसको मर्ज कर, इसको क्या कर दो, डिलीट करो। कब? जब मैं इन सारी प्रॉपर्टीज को मिक्स कर दूं। तो मैं बोलूंगा इन सारी को जिनको मैंने सेलेक्ट किया है इनको मर्ज कर दो, मर्ज। So there is one new class is coming. Rest all the three which have been selected, I will delete. After right clicking of the mouse, I will delete the selection. Only one signature is remaining. That is a mixture of all the pixels which are under these three different signatures. Okay, इन तीनों signature के अंदर जितने pixels हैं वो आ गए। मैंने इसको बोला this is water body, water bodies, whatever the name you want to give. Actual color भी आप यहाँ से दे सकते हैं, blue color. और अभी मेरी फाइल सेव नहीं है, मैं इससे बोलूंगा इसको सेव कर दो। मैं इसको फोल्डर में गया, सी इसका जो फॉर्मेट है वो .sig है, सिग्नेचर, क्योंकि मैं सिग्नेचर ले रहा हूँ फीचर्स के। तो मैं इसको सिमिलरली जहां पर ये डेटा सेट है मैं वहीं पर ही इसका नाम ऐड कर दूंगा। सपोज करो जगह के नाम से ही देना चाहिए अमूमन तो, बट मेरे पास बहुत सारी फाइल बनी हुई है तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, अवध, क्योंकि आप लोग अवध कॉलेज से हैं, लेट अस गिव अवध नेम। सो अवध.sig मेरा फाइल नेम हो गया, मैंने इसको ओके कर दिया, अपने किसी डेस्टिनेशन पे मैंने सेव कर दिया। सी my file name is coming awadh.signature. Now what I will do, all these three selected signatures you can keep it as it is for the future, you can save that also as a AOI, area of interest। और बेहतर है कि आप यहाँ ये डिलीट का बटन नजर आ रहा है, इसको आप डिलीट कर दो। देखिए वो डिलीट हो गए, ठीक है, यहाँ से डिलीट हो गए, यहाँ पर रहेंगे, यहाँ पर वो ऐड हो चुका है, ठीक है। मेरी एक क्लास कंप्लीट हो गई। नाउ व्हाट इज माय नेक्स्ट टारगेट, एग्रीकल्चर लैंड। बहुत फाइन शेप टोन, मैंने आपको बताया कुछ फीचर्स एलिमेंट्स होते हैं जो आपको हेल्प करेंगे। देखिए हर एक खेत का एक डिफाइंड बाउंड्री आपको नजर आ रही है। किस खेत में पानी भरा हुआ है जो कि ब्लैक ब्लैक नजर आ रही है, किस खेत में देखो पानी फुल रिफ्लेक्टेंस ऑफ वाटर है वो भी दिख रहा है, कहाँ मॉइस्चर कंटेंट ज्यादा है वो भी दिख रहा है, किसमें क्या क्रॉप जो है वो फुल मैच्योर है वो भी नजर आ रहा है, ठीक है। सो व्हाट आई विल डू, I will take the different signature. This is pure red color. This is pure pink, dark red color, because that red color belongs to the quality of the leaves. जितनी अच्छी healthy leaves होगी उतना ही bright red information you will get. Okay? So ये बहुत ही bright red color और pink color आ रहा है, इसका मतलब यहाँ का जो crop land है वो बहुत ही mature है और बहुत healthy है। So I am going to take again the pixels of agriculture cropland. So I am taking, suppose if you are doing like this, this is the wrong way. Why? Let me zoom it. जब आपने इतनी zoom out से pixels लिए तो देख रहे हैं आप रेड कलर के साथ साथ कुछ black pixels भी आ गए। These black pixels are not a part of the agriculture cropland. So that is why whenever you are taking the signature, please assure the size of a signature rectangle or any polygon which you are considering. So delete it. आप इसको डिलीट कर सकते हैं, डिलीट जो आपके कीबोर्ड में डिलीट बटन, और आप उसको दोबारा से इस ब्लैक पिक्सेल्स को साइड में रखते हुए कुछ ही पिक्सेल्स ले लीजिए जो ब्राइट रेड में और मिक्सचर ऑफ लाइट पिंक और डार्क पिंक आ रहे हैं, ठीक है। और आप उसको जूम आउट करिए, और कहीं और से भी आप कंसीडर करना चाहते हैं जैसे ये, दिस इज द वेरी डिफरेंट पिंक कलर। So I am going to take a few pixels from this portion of the agriculture land because it has same pixels. I am taking big polygon or of rectangle, okay. But if I am going to consider like this, this is the wrong way. Why? Because other color of the pixel is also coming in the same signature. That will leads to the inaccuracy of the interpretation. So I will delete it simply. Again, I will consider few from here. So for practical, I think it is more than sufficient. आपको सिर्फ प्रोसेस बताना है मुझे, ना कि मुझे पूरी एक्सरसाइज करनी है एक्यूरेसी के हिसाब से। सो मैंने जूम आउट किया, ये मेरा ऑलरेडी सेलेक्ट है, शिफ्ट बटन मैंने प्रेस किया कीबोर्ड से, इसको भी सेलेक्ट किया, इसको भी सेलेक्ट किया, इसको भी सेलेक्ट किया। अब इन चार सिग्नेचर के अंदर अप्रोक्सीमेटली मेरे 300-400 पिक्सल्स को आ गए होंगे, ठीक है ना। सो दैट इज गुड। So this kind of a signature, number of signature, you should consider 10 or more than 10. Okay. तो अब मैं इसको दोबारा से सिग्नेचर फाइल खोलूंगा, बोलूंगा ऐड कर दो। देखिए 4 दोबारा से मेरी क्लास ऐड हो गई। हमेशा पहले जो आपने मर्ज किया था उसको नाम जरूर दें, क्योंकि अगर नहीं देंगे तो वो यहाँ क्लास 1 क्लास 2 ही लेगा। एक काम कंप्लीट करो, दूसरे पे मूव करो। नाउ फ्रॉम द क्लास 1 टू क्लास 4 आई विल सेलेक्ट ऑल ऑफ देम, ठीक है, और कमांड दूंगा एडिट में जाके इनको मर्ज कर दो। ये सब एग्रीकल्चर है, और जो मैंने चारों सेलेक्ट की थी उनको जाके मैं डिलीट सिलेक्शन कर दूंगा। एक क्लास बची। व्हाट इज दिस? दिस इज माय एग्रीकल्चर, agricultural land or crop land, whatever the terminology you are comfortable, you can give. Okay, so let me give cropland. For cropland, cartographic rule, always give a yellow color to the agriculture land. Then go to the file, save it. So this signature is also saved. If you want to keep it as it is, these signatures, keep it. Otherwise, you can go to the delete button. This is delete button, or by the keyboard delete button also you can delete them. Leave it as it is. I'm not going to consider them again. Okay. Then again, fit to frame so that I can view the whole area. Now, most of the area belongs to bare land. Why? Because there is a soil coverage. Whatever the white pixels. See, whenever there is a natural cover of the white pixels, in only 3 conditions you can see the white pixels. Soil, snow का reflectance हमेशा white दिखेगा आपको, चाहे किसी भी डेटा में देखो, आप ट्रू कलर में देखो, फॉल्स कलर में देखो, ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में देखो। अगर सॉइल बिल्कुल प्योर ड्राई है, उसमें मॉइस्चर नहीं है, ड्राई नेचर है उसका कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, तो भी प्योर सॉइल जो है ड्राई, वो आपकी वाइट रिफ्लेक्टेंस देगी हर डेटा में। जैसे कि डेजर्ट की सॉइल है, जैसे पहाड़ों की सॉइल है, अगर बेयर लैंड है बिल्कुल टिपिकल, कोई वहाँ पे मॉइस्चर लेवल बहुत कम है, ड्राई है, बिल्कुल मट्टी के टीले बंधे हुए हैं, ठीक है, ड्राई नेचर है उनका, तो व्हाइट पिक्सल देगी। जैसे जैसे सॉइल में मॉइस्चर का लेवल बढ़ेगा, तो आपको नजर आ रहा है यहाँ पर सियान कलर, लाइट ब्लूइश, जो व्हाइट से धीरे धीरे ब्लूइश की तरफ कन्वर्ट हो रहा है। इट इज ऑल्सो द सॉइल, बट दीज पिक्सल्स ऑफ द सॉइल हैव अ some more moisture level, that is why it has changed its color. So here in this case we will consider both kind of the soil, dry which is reflecting the white, as well as little cyan color, because both are the soil reflectance. So I am going to zoom this area. I should be very very careful, because these black pixels are also coming, that we have to ignore, because this is the mountainous region. These black pixels are coming wherever it is coming. These are the shadow where the illumination cannot reach. Okay, now I am taking again from the drawing tool, I am taking pure white pixels, some mixed information of cyan color and the white pixel. See, I am not taking any white black pixel. Okay, this mixed color of cyan or white, and few sample from here, few from here. ये सिर्फ मुझे आपको दिखाना है, तो मैं बस इतने पे ही इसको ऐड कर रहा हूँ। इसके अंदर बहुत सारे पिक्सेल्स हैं, so I'm going to add it here. ठीक है, again I will select all of them, merge button दबाएंगे आप, merge button यहाँ पे भी है, ठीक है, this is also merge icon, both the way you can adopt. Rest all the taken samples I will delete. Git command bare land, open land, whatever you can give the term. Okay, and I will change the color. Bare land, it should be like this, tan color, brownish दिखती है मट्टी, तो मैंने उसको brown color में ले लिया. Now only one class I am going to consider, that is built up or urban area. Okay. Now इस तरीके के नेचुरल फीचर्स में आपने देखा, चाहे मैंने वो पानी के सैंपल लिए, चाहे एग्रीकल्चर वेजिटेशन के लिए, चाहे मैंने क्या कहते हैं बेयर लैंड मट्टी के लिए, और अगर मैं फॉरेस्ट लैंड ऑल्सो अभी लूंगा, मैं कंसिडर करूंगा उनके लिए, तो सब ने क्या बताया, सब ने यही चीज बताई कि इनकी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स एक जैसी हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि ये नेचर से कंट्रोल्ड है। बट अगर आप आएंगे अर्बन बिल्टअप एरिया में, विच इज हियर अर्बन सिटी, देखिए यहाँ पे कोई एक सिमिलर पिक्सल्स एक जैसे नजर नहीं आ रहे। क्यों? क्योंकि हर एक हाउस का जो रूफ है उसकी कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स अलग होती हैं। मेरे घर में छत पे जो मैंने लैंटर डलवाया उसका कंपोजिशन, उसका रेशियो सीमेंट का और सैंड का रेशियो अलग है, आपने अलग डलवाया, हो सकता है आपने टीन शेड डलवाया, हो सकता है आपका मड की रूफ हो, ठीक है, हो सकता है मैंने 10 सीमेंट के बोरी लगाई हैं और 5 रेत की, आपने 10 रेत की लगाई है, 5 सीमेंट की. So then accordingly the nature or the characteristics of the reflectance will be changed in the sensor. So you will not get the proper similar color information in the built up area. So there you have to consider each and every color which is a combined in the built up area. So only in identifying the built up pixels you will find little bit difficulty, but that can be easily be tackled. So I will take a few different color composition, mixture of the color. See, these bunch of pixels have similar reflectance almost. Okay, these bunch of pixels have similar reflectance. Here I am only selecting very few pixels, not the big size. This is a different color composition, and here this is mixture of light cyan to gray color. So I am taking these pixels also and few pixels from this area. So very bright cyan I'm not going to take. See, this white pixel also I'm not taking. This very light cyan pixel also I'm not taking because it will be misclassified with the bare land pixel. So however, this is not a part of a urban area. कुछ अर्बन एरिया के बीच में कोई पार्क होगा या कोई खाली मट्टी के लैंड पड़ा होगा, उसका रिफ्लेक्शन आया, ठीक है. So we have to ignore those kind of pixels which does not have a similar characteristics of the urban pixels. So these pixels I'm taking and adding in my attribute to the add button. All classes I will select and say merge them. When new class is coming, the rest of the classes must be deleted, and give urban or built up area, whatever the term you want to put, urban built up. It always be present by the red color. Okay. Save it, and only natural forests are remaining. Okay. However, I have taken the agriculture land which is a part of vegetation, but you can see this healthy leaves have a different red color, and this is the some vegetation which also reflecting the same red color, but this red color is different when you compare. See, this red color, this bright red color is different. Why? Because this is open shrubs or the forest area which is mixing with the soil, and these trees are very stressed because no one is giving a water. This is a plant agriculture. We are giving a water on a daily basis, so the photosynthesis process is very good. That is why the leaves are healthy in the nature. Okay, but these natural forests where no one is giving a water, so they are totally depend on the natural rainfall. Okay, so for them we have to give a forest. See, this is very different in the texture as well as in the color tone. So I will take few sample of this forest which is very limited in the area. So I am taking very few sample of those forested land. Okay. कहीं और से भी हैं तो आप ले सकते हैं, क्योंकि टाइम नहीं बचा, मुझे आपकी क्वेरीज भी जवाब देनी है. मैं फिलहाल सिर्फ 2 ले रहा हूँ और मैंने उनको ऐड कर दिया जिससे मैप बन के आ जाए तो आप लोगों को कुछ फाइनल आउटपुट नजर आए. मैंने उन 2 को डिलीट किया और यहाँ पर लिख दिया फॉरेस्ट लैंड और इसको मैंने डार्क ग्रीन कलर दिया. अब मैंने इसको सेव कर दिया. Now all the signature analysis has been done. Okay, from this whole satellite I have considered, you should consider from each and every corner of the sets of the pixels. Then for this practical I have considered these number of classes which is saved by awadh.signature. I will save this. Now I will perform supervised classification. Why? Because I have choose the signatures, then computer will automatically change this whole satellite data into the land use land cover. So you can also classify directly from here, supervise and supervise, both the options are there, or you can also go to the raster, supervise or supervise classification. So it is asking which is the input raster. Input raster file name is test. Why? Because if you look, this file name on which I am working, this file name is test. So automatically it has been taken by the software. Now the computer is asking input signature file. What was the file name? In recent I can identify Awadh.signature. My signature file name was Awadh. I will select it, click OK. My signature. On the basis of this signature, Amina, don't unmute me. Don't mute me. Okay. So this is the classified file. It means this is the output. I want to give an output. Okay. So my drive in the same project, same location, I will give Awadh. This software always read underscore. Either you have to give a continuous name, or if you want to give some space, give underscore. Otherwise it will not read. Awadh land use land cover. Suppose I'm giving this. You can also save in the .img. I am always comfortable with the .img, or you can also go with the TIFF. Don't save in the JPEG. JPEG means you are going to save in the photograph. Okay. So .img in format, I am saving it and click OK. It is asking the parametric rule, maximum likelihood. By default it will take. You should also go with maximum likelihood. It means whatever the pixels you have considered, the computer will take the maximum likelihood of the same pixels which we have given in the command. Okay, don't change the parametric rule. Always choose the maximum likelihood and don't click any other button. Give OK. Then it will run the process programming. Now once the 100% done is coming, close this window. Okay, now open your file. In another window, create 2D. Now in this new window, which is here, I will open my file. Right click, open raster layer. In recent, I can find by the recent button also, I can find my last work. So this is my Awadh land use land cover in the folder 2009. Okay. Now see what is coming here. See, this is the resemblance of the same data. क्योंकि मैंने सेट ऑफ पिक्सेल्स बहुत कम लिए हैं, तो अर्बन बिल्टअप एरिया आप देख रहे हैं जहां जहां पर ये रिजेस हैं माउंटेन के बीच में, वहां पे भी उसने अर्बन एरिया को ले लिया है. क्यों? क्योंकि फ्यू पिक्सेल्स ब्लैक पिक्सेल्स, आई थिंक 1 or 2 ब्लैक पिक्सेल्स बाय मिस्टेक आई हैव कंसीडर्ड फ्रॉम देयर. इसके लिए भी प्रोसीजर है. You can perform the recoding. If you know this is not belongs to urban, you can, by selecting the polygon of these bunch of red color pixels, you can transform again into the bare land. क्योंकि ये जो माउंटेन रीजन में रिजेस बन गए दो पहाड़ के बीच में, उससे शेडो का कलर आ गया. However, it is a part of the bare land, open land. So recoding is also there. One sample I will show you. Okay, only one sample. See the forest, very nicely green color forest are coming only in few patches. Agriculture land has been detected very nicely. Water body has detected very nicely. There is only a one misclassification between the urban land and the open land or the bare land that can be recoded. Recoded आप कैसे कर सकते हैं? You can please refer the YouTube videos because we have a very limited time which is already over. Okay, now what is the accuracy level you want to check? You can take the help of a same editor signature. आपको अगर एक्यूरेसी देखनी कितना परसेंट है, उसका फॉर्मूला है, आप इवेल्युएट करें. इवेल्युएट में जाएं सिग्नेचर एडिटर की फाइल में, कंटीजेंसी ओपन करें, ओके करें. एक यहाँ पर नोटपैड फाइल आ जाएगी. देखिए ये नोटपैड फाइल आ गई आपकी. आप इसको पूरा कॉपी पेस्ट कर लें, पूरा कॉपी पेस्ट कर दें. कॉपी और एक्सेल में खोल लेता हूँ मैं, क्योंकि एक्सेल में जल्दी कैलकुलेशन परफॉर्म हो जाती है. मैंने इसको यहाँ पेस्ट कर दिया. ये जो दो वाटर ये जो यहाँ पर है, इसको मैंने फॉरेस्ट रह गया यहाँ पर, तो उसने दो अलग में लिया है. फॉरेस्ट को मैं यहाँ से कट करके कॉपी करके यहाँ पेस्ट कर देता हूँ. ठीक है, और ये आपका रो टोटल हो गया. इसको भी मैं कॉपी करके यहाँ पेस्ट कर देता हूँ. So this is all my pixels. मैंने लिए वाटर बॉडी के 174 पिक्सल्स, 144 to 174 pixels are correctly transformed to the water body, from water body to water body. जहां कहीं पे भी मिस क्लासिफिकेशन होगा वहां पर क्या होगा, ये जो डायगोनल्स हैं वो दूसरी जहां 0 0 दिख रहा है वहां पर मिस क्लासिफिकेशन पिक्सल्स की वैल्यूज दिखाएंगे. तो ओवरऑल एक्यूरेसी हम कैसे क्या करते हैं, कैलकुलेट करते हैं, नंबर ऑफ डायगोनल्स, क्योंकि डायगोनल्स आर द करेक्ट पिक्सल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. तो आप नंबर डायगोनल्स को टोटल नंबर ऑफ पिक्सल से अगर डिवाइड करेंगे, मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100 करेंगे तो परसेंटेज आ जाएगा. लेट मी शो यू, is equals to water body to water body. However, it will come 100% because I have taken very few pixels. Okay, क्योंकि मुझे आपको एक्सरसाइज दिखानी थी. Plus this, these are the diagonals. Diagonals क्यों, क्योंकि जिस क्लास से जिस क्लास में हमने इसको बनाया है, देखो 710 टोटल पिक्सल्स हैं डायगोनल में और 710 टोटल पिक्सल हमने लिए हैं, तो 100% एक्यूरेसी है. ठीक है, 710 divided by 710 multiplied by 100, it will come same 100%. Okay, whenever it will lead towards the miss accuracy, accordingly the number of pixels will be changed here. If it is 174, suppose 170 is total correctly matched with the water body, then remaining 4 pixels will go somewhere, suppose here. So this 4 pixel is a misclassified between bare land to water body. So this is how we can perform the accuracy assessment through the remote sensing data through signature file. Now this is all from my side. I tried to complete the presentation within an hour. So if you have any query or the doubts, you can ask. Feel free to ask.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for such an informative session. Before I proceed with the question answer round, I would like to request to all those people who have posted in the questions earlier that kindly turn on their cameras while I would be addressing their questions. The very first question. Yes, sir.
Just hold a second. I'll bring my mobile because Amina, she has already posted me the question so that I can read it carefully and reply. Okay, just hold.
So I'll.
Now you can.
So may I start with the questions?
Yes, or should I read it?
So whatever is comfortable with you, I can read it, or you want to read?
Dr.
Okay,
Hassan,
so
Rupal will read out the questions.
Okay, Rupal. Okay, fine.
Okay, sir. So the very
Yes,
first question that
go
we
ahead.
have is from Swastika Yadav. Which softwares and classification methods are most appropriate for land use and land cover classification other than the one you have just mentioned?
Okay, yes, very good question. So am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can use so many softwares, image processing softwares, on which I have demonstrated the exercises. ADAS Imagen. Okay, this is the image processing software. Similarly, you can also use the NV software, which is freely available. You can install it in your systems. Okay, and nowadays ArcGIS Map is also having a tool for the supervised and unsupervised.
I would like to apologize for the network connectivity issues. Please be with us. We have sir with us now.
Okay, now I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So you can use the NV software, you can use the ADAS imaging software, and you can also go with the different classifiers. Like supervised classification. You can also go with the visual interpretation of the data. You can extract the polygons of each and every class through manual digitization, but it will take time. So for the large area mapping, we should be confined with the image processing software such as ADAS imaging, जिसमें हमने exercise करी है. Similarly, you can install NV software. Okay, that is also freely available. You can install it in your systems. And ArcMap software is also nowadays providing a tool for the land classification. So directly you can, plug in the toolbox, supervised and unsupervised classification. However, we should more more trust on the image processing software, because they are especially created for the software digital image interpretation. Okay, yes,
Thank
now
you,
another.
sir. So another question we have is from Tanya Kesavani. How a farmer living in rural area can be benefited from remote sensing?
Okay, so yes, Tanya Kesarwani, how a farmer living in a rural area can be benefited. Yes, in so many ways. That depends on the requirement of the farmer. Suppose आपको याद होगा कि पहले किसी की भी लैंड को अगर कोई इलीगली एक्वायर कर लेता था, तो मतलब मैनुअली क्या कहते हैं, चकबंदी के लिए जो मेजरमेंट करते हैं मैनुअली करने के लिए बुलाना पड़ता था अगर किसी ने लीगल एक्वायर कर दिया. तो ये इस तरीके से रिमोट सेंसिंग बहुत क्रूशियल रोल प्ले करती है कि हम ये पता लगा पाए थी अब कितनी है. जो कैडेस्ट्रल मैप्स पहले जनरेट किए गए थे उससे कितना वेरिएशन आया है. साथ के साथ उसकी क्रॉप की यील्ड को, उसकी असेसमेंट को, क्वालिटी को सॉइल की, दैट कैन आल्सो बी possible to know about the quality of the soil in the land. And if your land is flooded in some time, so by the help of temporal data you can claim the insurance also of the damage of your crop. You can show the satellite data. I have seen the case in the US that the farmer has shown the two temporal data sets to claim the insurance of the crop damage. So in so many ways we can use the remote sensing for in the that can be benefited for the farmers, for the rural, especially for the rural area.
Thank you, sir. So another question is from Khushi Sachdeva. Does the current study area in remote sensing at graduation level give an upper hand while going for intelligence bureau jobs?
Okay, yes, it is good. हाँ, remote sensing का अगर आपके पास इसकी नॉलेज है तो, और आप जानते हैं इमेज प्रोसेसिंग के बारे में, तो इंटेलिजेंस ब्यूरो में ज़रूर आप लोगों का जो इम्पोर्टेंस होगी उसको वो पता चलेगी लोगों को. क्योंकि चाहे आप देखें डिफेंस में भी देख लें, सिंस वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम वी आर यूजिंग द टोपोग्राफिकल शीट्स. ओके, जब से रिमोट सेंसिंग आई है वी आर एक्वायरिंग द अर्थ इंफॉर्मेशन. So whatever the conflict is happening in the borders, especially India and Pakistan border, China. See, recently you have seen that China has acquired so many, too much area of the Indian territory. So by the aerial photographs and the remote sensing, we find out which are those regions where the China is encroaching in the Indian territory. So that is possible if you know how to deal with the remote sensing. You will always be acknowledged by the different organization wherever you will go, not only to the intelligence bureau or any XYZ job. Okay, it will definitely give you the advantage if you have such information. So each and every pixel of the acquired land can be extracted from the data, either from the remote sensing data sets of the poor pixel resolution or the high resolution data of a set aerial photographs. In both the ways you can use it, or even in the at the time of war and conflict, you can also find out the places where the people can जहाँ पर आप लोग पता लगा सकते हो कि दुश्मन छुप सकता है. By the infrared or thermal sensors, you can check the movement of the soldiers. Okay, so that is also a part of remote sensing. Thermal sensing से भी आप पता लगा सकते हो आप, ठीक है ना. You have a different radars also that can be helpful in that. So you should only know how to read the data, how to interpret the data, and what should be the accuracy that we can get it to satisfy the customer, either in any job. Okay. Now
Thank
the
you,
next.
sir. So since we are running out of time, the last question for the day is, what was your experience while working as a remote sensing scientist? And the question is from Soumya Singh.
Yes, so she just wanted to know my experience. See, let me tell you very frankly, this technique and the tool, because of this technique and the tool only I'm here. So so how I can explain you the feelings which I have, the opportunities which I have got it from the remote sensing field. And this is the only subject when I still remember when I was planning to pursuing the PhD, and one of my professor has given me the social sciences topic for my research, PhD research. And luckily मैं इसको lucky बोलता हूँ कि उन्होंने deny कर दिया उस topic को accept करने से. और after 6 months or a year, again I have prepared for the same, and I have choose the topic that belongs to the remote sensing and GIS technique. And because of that, I have got an opportunity in abroad, as well as now I have recently in the 2018 I have appointed in my host university, and I'm here in front of you who is giving a lecture on the remote sensing. So that this technique or the tool takes me very high, and I'm expecting the same in my future career.
Thank you so much, sir. So now moving ahead, I would like to invite Ms. Aditi Nigam for the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dee. A very good evening to everyone present here. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance and confusion into clarity. As we conclude today's session, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Hassan Rajanakvi for taking out his precious time to share his valuable knowledge on remote sensing and its application. Sir, you have reshaped our understanding of the whole concept. We are looking forward for another thought-provoking session with you. We are indebted to Ms. Vikaji, President, Managing Committee, for her constant support in all our events. We are grateful to Professor Nishi Pandey, Manager Secretary, Awadh Girls Degree College, for her unceasing support. I would like to thank Dr. Chaturvedi, Principal, Awadh Girls Degree College, for making this event possible by her guidance. The day surely can't end without thanking Dr. Katia, Dean of Students, for motivating us at each and every step. A special thank to Dr. Tandon and Dr. Hassan, Department of Geography, Awadh Girls Degree College, for making this event possible. It is for sure that this event would have been incomplete without the presence of all our faculty members who took out time to grace this event. Thank you, dear teachers. Last but not the least, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the technical team comprising Khushi, Rupal, Sugita, Disha, and Niyati for their support in carrying this event out smoothly, and to all other students present here. A special thanks to Khushi Sachdeva for preparing a beautiful and informative video for us. Once again, I thank you, sir, for marking your delightful presence amongst us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
I would like to inform the participants that we are now formally ending the meeting, so they can leave the meeting. And thanks a lot, sir, again.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so
It was a
much.
wonderful session.
Thanks to Dr. Upma Chaturvedi.
Thank
You guys have very nicely conducted this online lecture. I'm happy
Thank you.
to see,
Thank you.
and
Thank you so much.
we'll try to deliver few lectures in the future also.
Definitely, definitely we'll invite you. Definitely.
Because you have given me very short, little time to prepare it, and
But
moreover,
still,
the
it was extremely informative. But we really wanted to ask few more questions, but time is running. So next time we'll have a question answer round with you.
yes, I would glad to join with you people.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks a lot.